Who's starting these verbal altercations?
He will just disrespect me, and then I will go back at him.
She verbally abuses us.
You're raising children who are going to have to recover from their childhood. You're suing because you said she used $1,500 to get breast augmentation.
I get in touch with her family. They're like, she's probably in surgery right now. Surgery for what?
Well, sir, are you or are you not using the product that she purchased?
I actually just married an empty alcoholic.
And you rushed in it because you were looking for a Band-Aid. Here is today's case.
She believes this marriage may be coming to an end due to his past infidelities. He admits to his mistakes, but says now he's fully committed and faithful to his fiancée. Can this couple get back on track? That's today's case on Divorce Court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, our virtual audience is filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Jason from Lodi, New Jersey.
It's amazing to have you here with us today, Jason. As my special guest, I'm sending you an autographed copy of my book on how to stay smart in matters of the heart.
Your Honor, this is the case of Santeramo versus Wilkerson.
Thank you, Juan. Miss Teresa Santeramo.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought your husband, Mr. Justin Wilkerson,
Yes, Your Honor.
to divorce court today. The two of you have been married for 2 years, but you've been having a number of problems, and now you're here in divorce court, ma'am, because you said you don't believe you can move forward and continue in the marriage, and sir, you believe the marriage can be salvaged.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll start with you, Miss Santeramo. Why don't you give me some background?
We've known each other for a dozen years, and we used to date back in high school, but unfortunately, he cheated on me. We broke up. 8 years later, I'm worried he might be cheating again.
You met in high school, but you didn't get married after high school. You had a break.
Yeah,
And
8 years later,
reconnected.
then we reconnected.
8 years later. And so you said infidelity has now brought you to this point.
Yes.
Again. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Wilkerson?
Yeah, I never cheated at all. I'm here because she's controlling and I can't do anything right. Yeah, in the past, like in the way beginning of the relationship when we were talking about dating, I was sexting other women and, you know, she had her thing going on. But since then, I've been nothing but faithful.
Okay, and so what happened when you reconnected with Mr. Wilkerson? What brought back the romantic connection?
Just seeing each other every day. I felt like he had really grown up and matured, and I didn't think that the issues we had then were still going to carry on till now. And then things happened and proved that that wasn't the point.
And now we don't talk, we don't see each other that much, and it's just unbearable.
And why do you think that happened?
Honestly, I do not know. I mean, I work 5 days a week. Stuff's busy, stressful, trying to run the property and whatnot. I think when I had enough of her running to her ex every time she's mad, that's when things started getting worse. I started addressing the problems and trying to, you know, speak out.
So the ex is still in the picture?
Yeah, somewhat.
And
He's
you
my
say
daughter's
that,
father, so he is still in the picture.
so he's always going to be in the picture
Yeah.
somewhat. You say that what happened shortly after the two of you connected, before you got married, there were other issues of infidelity.
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened?
When we first reconnected, when we first started dating again, it was amazing. It was perfect. But then about a month later, I found out that he had never broken things off with who I thought was his ex. He had continued a relationship with her long distance. And throughout that entire first month of our relationship, they were still dating themselves. And I found the evidence of it. I found naked pictures that they'd been sending back and forth to each other. I had found really inappropriate messages where they were talking about wanting to do certain things to each other. So much so that he told her she doesn't need to be concerned about me because I'm just there holding her place. When she gets back, they're gonna be together and he's gonna marry her.
That was before the two of you got married? You found all of these messages?
We weren't dating at all. We were literally just sexting.
Okay.
And
So you weren't having a physical affair, but you were having an emotional affair.
yes.
Did you
somewhat.
say in those texts that she was a placeholder?
No, I don't believe I did.
He may not
No.
remember, but he did.
Yeah, no. I did drink a lot, but that doesn't even sound like me.
Okay, you saying you were drunk texting?
Yeah, I was drunk 3/4 of the day.
Why? What was going on with you?
Just depressed.
Why?
Nothing going right, everything going wrong. You know, I didn't know what I was gonna do in my life anymore. It's hard finding a job, so I just drank.
What do you do now for work?
I make construction parts.
So things looked up for you?
Yes,
And you're doing better?
yes.
And you've been able to curb the drinking issue that you were having?
I quit.
You quit altogether?
Yeah.
Well, good
Yes,
for
Your Honor.
you. So you were in a bad place back then.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's how the two of you were able to work past that. Because
Yes, Your
you
Honor.
had a conversation and you said, you know what, this was a mistake. I'm not going to do this anymore. And things got better in the relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you forgave him.
Yes.
So what happened? So you get married, November 2018, you proposed. Why'd you decide to propose?
Because I seen how she was with, you know, the kids. She was a very good mother, is a very good mother. And she was like a partner in crime. You know, I could go to her, we could talk about anything and everything, you know. And even back then when we were kids, I fell in love with her. I cheated because I wasn't ready to be in a relationship like that, you know, and reconnecting with her. And at the point in my life where I am ready, and that's exactly what I want. It's a wife, kids, a house, the whole nine.
But now you're here in divorce court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why did you bring this case?
I don't think he is ready. I don't think he'll ever be ready.
Why?
I don't think he'll ever actually grow up, mature, and be able to commit to one person.
What has happened?
Well, as I'd mentioned before, in the beginning of our relationship, there was that issue. But that wasn't the only set of pictures I had found. Just 2 months after we got married, I found out that he had been a member of a website that his ex had been posting naked pictures of herself.
What happened with that website?
And no, I haven't been sneaking around with anybody. The only one that's been sneaking around is you.
Okay.
You've been sneaking around with your ex, not telling me anything.
He had several other women that he had been sexting with and receiving pictures and sending pictures. And it was all within that same time. So for giving him for that girlfriend, I forgave him for those as well. But it planted a seed. And then all of the pictures that he had deleted, I watched him delete them. I found about a year later on a memory card that he had apparently saved. So the one thing that really made me move on past that was deleting the pictures, and come to find out, he never did. He still had them.
So he saved the photos and you found out, was this prior to you getting married or after?
After.
So you found those photos after you get married. Why did you save them?
No, I didn't intentionally save them at all. I had 2 SIM cards, one for music and one for those photos. Those were the same photos. They're very old. And I threw them out.
And you threw out the wrong memory card is what you're saying?
Yes.
I was gonna say, if you
And-
threw it out, then why was it still there?
So
Because it was the wrong one.
what happened after that though? Have there been actual instances of infidelity?
Nothing physical that I have found. That's why I think it's gone on for so long, is because I can't say that's it. You know, there hasn't been something that actually makes me cut the cord. I keep telling myself, like, okay, it's just that, it's just this, don't worry about it. But how long before it builds up and it becomes that, you know?
There's never been anything like that.
Why do you think this is inevitable and that it's going to happen and it's building up to actual infidelity? Why do you think that?
Well, like I said, it happened when we were teenagers, which was understandable. You know, you're not ready for that kind of commitment at that time. But then when we get to a point where he says he's ready for that commitment, it happens. And then, again, finding the pictures. And then just 2 months after we got married, I found out that he had been a member of a website that his ex had been posting naked pictures of herself. And for some reason or another, he felt the need to be a member of that website so that he could see these pictures.
He was a current member?
Yes.
2 months after you got married?
Yes.
What happened with that website? That was an old subscription?
Way old. Way old. I deleted it, and the only reason that it kept popping up is because she kept signing in.
If you
So when
deleted
you sign
it, then it
in,
wouldn't matter.
reactivates your account. She still blamed me. Why can I still go into it? Because you keep signing in. You keep reactivating the account. And no, I haven't been sneaking around with anybody. The only one that's been sneaking around is you.
Okay.
You've been sneaking around with your ex, not telling me anything. She has him over all the time. When I'm at work, he's at my house. Up until I leave to come home to work, that's when he leaves. Every day. And the fact that she lies to me about it,
during this 2-year marriage, you haven't been able to establish boundaries that the two of you agree on. If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. So, Mr. Wilkerson, that's the father of her child.
Yes.
Is your contention that there's something inappropriate happening?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
She has him over all the time. When I'm at work, he's at my house. Up until I leave to come home to work, that's when he leaves. Every day. And the fact that she lies to me about it, when she said, no, he's not here, or no, it's just me and the girls going to the store, when really he's driving them. He's over there in the store. He's buying her stuff. And the gifts. He gave her a $1,200 phone and put her on his plan. And then they had the audacity to get mad at me because I said, no, that's not okay. That's going way too far.
Now tell her why he got the phone.
So
Because you wanted to me off.
No, because you were controlling everything with the
Hold
phone
on.
that I had gotten from you.
Mr. Wilkerson, let me make sure I'm understanding this. You're saying that it's not just him being there visiting the child, it's their relationship.
Yes.
The
You
only
don't care.
reason that I had gotten that phone is because he had everything on that phone monitored, everything that I was sending people, what people were sending to me, who I was talking to.
How did he have that monitored?
There's this app that you can use for your kids.
So he put an app on the phone?
Yeah.
And you could not delete the app?
Well, I didn't want to because then I thought he would think I'm guilty of something.
So you got a second phone?
No.
You thought having an auxiliary phone would help?
It wasn't an auxiliary phone because he knew about it. And he'd stop my ex from calling to talk to the girls, from contacting me. So if he can't contact me through the phone that he's paying for, how else is he going to contact his kids?
So
That never happened at all. You guys talk every day. How am I stopping that? I'm at work 3/4 of the week.
So during this 2-year marriage, you haven't been able to establish boundaries that the two of you agree on when it comes to the father of your child.
No,
which is absolutely necessary, and you have to be able to do that because he's not going anywhere. But there have to be appropriate boundaries established because he has to have contact with. And how old is your child?
She just turned 6.
Just turned 6. So he has to be able to contact her to be able to have contact with their daughter.
And I understand that, and that's okay.
Okay, so you don't think he's there for the specific reason to see his daughter? You think there's another reason?
To see her.
I specifically
He spends
tell
half the
him-
time with his daughter and the other half with her. When the kids go out and they go do stuff, where is he?
I like and I appreciate the fact that Mr. Elliott and Miss Santeramo have a co-parenting relationship. Based on everything I've heard, I'm not convinced that there's something inappropriate happening between the two of them, Mr. Wilkerson.
When she makes it to the point where it's hard for me to be co-parent with my son's mom, but she can't give me those same boundaries. Like, my wife wants me to keep my ex at a distance. She cannot stand her. And I do. I rarely talk to my ex. I talk to her maybe 2-3 times a week.
The issue is, you say it's communication about the children. Mr. Wilkerson says it's not. This is what strikes me about this case, because both of you have come into court and you've talked about accusations of inappropriate relationships with other people. You're saying with him, you think it's inevitable. You say with her, there's this ex that has this relationship and it's not just about the child, but there's nothing concrete that actually establishes that this is going on besides what's in your own heads. This is a complex case in many ways. One of the reasons is because of the number of people that are involved in your lives.
Yep.
From your children to your children's parents to on your side and on your side. And it's a lot to navigate. It really takes you being in a healthy and mature place to be able to blend families together, and that your marriage is continuing to be put first above everyone else.
Yes.
Because that's what happens when you get married. You make a choice. This is my spouse. This is my spouse. This is not a person that I own. This is not a person I control. This is a partner. This is a person that I'm in partnership with. And what does that partnership mean? And what does that partnership look like? The mere fact that you both know you don't trust the other person is eating at the core of your relationship. It cannot sustain this level of mistrust. It just can't. Because you're making yourselves miserable whether or not there's something happening. It doesn't even matter, because you've decided in your mind this is happening, and it is undermining completely any love that you have for each other, any respect that you have for each other, any adoration you have for each other, on the fact over and above the difficulties that it takes for you to come together and navigate raising children from outside relationships together. You have to start doing a tremendous amount of work. Are you willing to do the work? Is that what you want to do?
That's what I've been trying to do.
Okay, that's what you really want in your heart, because you want this marriage to work?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what about you? Be honest and speak your truth.
I don't think that the amount of work I do will ever matter, because even when I have facts, evidence even, proof, when I approach him about a subject, he will never let his position go. He will never admit when he's wrong. Literally, even when he's approached with something that proves that he's lying. And because of that, he insists everything I say must be lied too.
Well, here's where we are, because it takes two people. And especially in this scenario with the two of you, it would take both of you being fully committed to the process. Because I was going to recommend marital counseling for the both of you, with a specific emphasis on co-parenting, because that's where it's going to start. Peace of mind in your life should be a priority for all of us, but only you know, for you, what you can handle emotionally and in your peace of mind. Whether you can sustain being in a marriage, a relationship, where you went in and you said you ignored a lot of red flags from the beginning. My best advice is for both of you, we have an aftercare specialist here today in person I want you to speak to before you make your final decision. Once you decide, because you don't have children together, the best thing that you can do is get yourself to a healthy place, no matter what happens with this marriage. Individually, get yourself to a healthy place so you can be at a place where you can truly love, support, and provide an emotionally safe space for your spouse to be in and be a part of. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I like Judge Faith's advice, and I do agree with it. I know we have a lot of work that we need to do, and I know there's a lot we need to let go of. I guess I'm stuck because I want to be able to say we can, but I don't know. I don't know if we can.
We need counseling, and I do need to let some stuff go. I've been trying to work on it, and I'll continue to work on it.
I need to worry about me first, because I don't do that. I take care of everybody else around me.
I'm gonna continue to go to work. I'm gonna probably start working out again, control my mental, strengths, try to let go. I'm definitely gonna look into some counseling because I want this to work. I'm only getting married once.